Hopefully it works.
Hopefully.
It's always good to see it redirect to Facebook, but yeah, let me open up the stream for questions. I think we're there, right?
They were live, yeah.
18 seconds. I can see that right now. Gonna like this stuff. Fluffy Messenger also likes this stuff. There we go.
Awesome.
All right, buddy. No Christmas for you the last couple of days.
Yeah, but I'm glad everyone has enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, I'm really stuffed. I already went to the gym earlier this morning to get those extra kilos off, or pounds off, for you guys from the States.
I bet it was a hard session.
It was very hard. I only went for like 50 minutes because I was all out of breath, and yeah, going tomorrow morning again. So
I should feel better tomorrow.
yeah.
Always that first session after getting started is it's very hard.
Let me open up the live right here.
I bet it was a hard session.
There we go. This way I can track the questions that might arise. I can see that there is already a couple of people on. That's you, me. Vasily, hope you're well, man. I hope your Christmas was well as well.
Hey, Vasily.
Nice to see you right here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here. Guys, put something in the chat right here so that we know you are actually watching. And yeah, we'd just like to say hi as well. So yeah, go ahead, guys. Say something cool. Meanwhile, I'm setting some stuff up on my end. There we go.
Yeah, we hope that your Christmas was good and your holidays were teaching you well. That we got some fun with your families and friends, and ready to go back to your Chatbots businesses. So we're here today to discuss an interesting part of Chatbots and Clever Messenger.
Really?
So I think we are about to start.
I'm not sure what you can see on your end, guys. This time we're using Zoom, and we're using Zoom because, and I think this is the third or fourth app we're actually using to stream these types of training. Zoom was recommended, heavily recommended, I should say, last time around, and yeah, we actually did a test run earlier today, and it seems it is really the best app so far. So we're going to run with this for this training and see if that is going to be our new go-to tool in regard to live streaming. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm sharing my screen, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you are sharing screen. Awesome. I think you can see it on the live as well. Looks good.
That's correct. Nice. So there's a couple of people jumping in, jumping out. Vasily says, haha, yes, it was a good one. Well, that's great to hear, buddy. Let's just start. I know it's Saturday. I know it's still the weekend after the holidays. So I'm not expecting a lot of people to jump on, but hey, let's have some fun. And for the people that stay all the way to the end, we got another free t-shirt giveaway. So Vasily, if you're still here, this is your shot to actually win one of those desired t-shirts. It's very easy as well, but it is a random draw in the end, so it's up for anyone who is going to win that random draw. Okay, guys. Vasily says, let's do it. He's calling you out, folks. So let's stay till the end. Let me just dive in right away. So today we're going to talk about the Chatbot 101 Basics Capture Tools Part 2. And we are going to talk about post engagement, the Messenger QR code, and the m.me links. Now, the Messenger or the Messenger QR code, not to be mistaken with the native Messenger code. It's our own code. Let me just click right here and go to the next slide. There we go. So yeah, in this thing, we are going to talk about some of the generic information you're going to receive in this training right here, which tools we're going to talk about and highlight a little bit more. We're primarily going to talk about the post engagement feature, that little feature that allows you to send private replies automatically to anyone who comments to your Facebook fan page posts. Then we are going to slightly touch upon the Messenger QR code. Again, this is not to be mistaken with the native code. As just a few moments ago, the post about the gift I've sent you in the group got some traction, and there was some confusion about this. Again, this is the Messenger QR code. It's something we have developed in-house, and it's basically a QR code generator which allows people to scan that code and immediately go to the flow of your choice. Then we are going to talk about the m.me links. These are those nifty little links people can click on. And if they click on that link, they immediately become a subscriber. A lot of cool ways you can actually utilize these links. And that's something Fauzi is going to showcase on the demo as well. Which automatically leads me to the next point, which is the live demos of setting up these capture tools. So we're going to demonstrate how you can actually set up a post engagement, a Messenger QR code, and an m.me link. It's going to be quite easy because these features, how powerful they may be, it's very, very easy to set them up actually. So that's really cool. Then we are going to slightly touch upon why these capture tools we have are, again, clever and more clever than our competitors. Then we finish it off with a Q&A. And if that's done, we are going to reveal the contest of the where you can actually win the free T-shirt, which is basically a giveaway. So some cool stuff in this training, Fauzi. I'm not sure if you're up for it, but I'm pretty excited.
I'm very excited as well.
Good to be back.
This one.
Yeah.
Capture tools are really good. Every time we use them, we discover something interesting. So it's a good occasion to showcase all of the interesting stuff that you can do with this, and it's exciting moments that we're going to share in a few seconds.
Yeah, exactly. But bear in mind, guys, although Fauzi says like it's amazing stuff we're about to share in this training right here, I mean, there's so much potential for each and every feature right here. So I'm afraid we're only going to scratch the tip in this training right here. And I will do my best in the other training videos to highlight even more. And yeah, if you want to know more, we can actually go into a discussion after this training or somewhere next week where we talk more about these features and what you can actually do with it. But we did our best to actually get some examples going here as well. Now, let me just quickly look at the chat right here. We got Rob. Hey, Rob, let's do it. He says, yeah, let's do it.
It's good to see Rob again. Actually, Rob was in yesterday's webinar with Joe.
Oh, really? Nice.
I had a lot of questions, so it's always good to see you here.
And Rob is always full of questions. That's good. Questions are good. It keeps it going. Then we have Barry. Hey, Barry. Hope you're well, man. He says, good to be here. My first time. Well, everything has their first time. So glad that we are your first time. Thank you, leaders. Well, that's all too kind. We're just the normal people like you, and yeah, trying to make sense of it all. So I really hope this is going to help you as well, Barry. Rob, love your trainings. We love you, Rob. So that's cool. So let me just go to the next sheet right here. There we go. Little astronaut saying that we're about to dive in. And that's what we're going to do. So what we are going to do right now, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the capture tools we are going to be talking about in this training. So what are the capture tools we are going to talk about? Again, you can actually use these capture tools to generate Messenger subscribers right from Facebook, your emails, your website and its pages and the offline world. This is different as to the when compared to the other training we did last time, where we mainly discussed the send to messenger button, the checkbox plugin, and the customer chat. These are all tools you basically embed to your website, and these are tools you basically use in order to generate subscribers from your website. Now, the capture tools we are going to discuss in this training right here allow you to actually generate subscribers not only from your website, but also from the offline world. For example, if you own a physical store or you work with clients, you can generate subscribers from your emails with those m.me links, and you can actually generate subscribers from your Facebook fan page posts as well. So multiple other ways as opposed to your website alone. Again, they have the same goal, meaning generating the subscriber, but each capture tool, and these are no different, are to be used in a different way. So for instance, you got the post engagement feature. You can send private replies to people who comment on your Facebook fan page posts. One of the most important features and most underused features, I want to say, Fauzi. Not sure if you want to highlight something in particular there, or just I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, we can share this in details later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Then we are going to talk about the Messenger QR code. Again, these scannable codes that get people into your flow and make them a subscriber. For the people that are just jumping on right here, again, not to be mistaken with the native Messenger code. That's something that Facebook has stopped in order to make their app a little bit faster in their aim to become the fastest messaging app in the world. That's why they stopped their native Messenger code. And we saw the opportunity to actually we basically saw the opportunity to jump in on this gap by providing you the QR code generator, which allows you to generate nifty little QR codes that lead to your chatbot flows and messages. Then we are going to talk about the m.me links. Again, people become a subscriber with a single click, and we are going to slightly touch upon URL parameters that allow you to do even more cool stuff with these m.me links.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Let's dive into this. We are already getting questions.
Awesome.
It's starting pretty well. So Rob is saying, is there any way to use post engagement on a personal Facebook page? I think we're going to answer your question right now when we're going to start with the post engagements.
Yeah.
Get you that settled.
Yeah. And if we forget to answer your question, just pull our hair and then we'll answer it again. But I'll make a quick note of it in just a bit. Sorry about that. So yeah, the post engagement, it's to be found, or you can actually find this feature on the page level, the chatbot level. And you need to go to the little magnet icon, which basically opens up a little sidebar menu, and there you can find the post engagement menu. This opens up a table, and once you create a new one, you actually get redirected to something that looks like what you see on this screen right here, which is very, very cool. Let me just go right here onto the next slide. So what are the post-engagement benefits? There are a couple of examples we want to highlight and why post-engagement is such a powerful feature. You can actually use it not only on your fan page posts, but also on your ads, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So imagine having an ad running with the post-engagement feature running as well. Now, each and every person that comments on that post will become a subscriber after they reply to the private reply the chatbot sends out. So that's something we are going to highlight in just a bit when they actually become a subscriber. Again, it's the point right below that. It's already highlighted. So depending on your settings, anyone who comments gets a private reply. Now, Fauzi is going to demonstrate how this actually works and which options we actually have. Once they reply, okay, I should rephrase this a little bit. So once they actually comment on your fan page post, the bot actually replies privately. And once they reply back to that initial private reply, they become a subscriber. And then you can do all those magical things with Clever Messenger. Like, for instance, if you are promising something in that initial post, like a coupon or a free giveaway you want to do, or you want to send them a free ebook, that's something you do after that initial reply, because that's something where we really want to stress as well. And that is that you need to make sure that that initial private reply does not contain any promotional content. That's something Facebook really doesn't like. You need to make sure that they become a subscriber first and become active in that 24-hour period. Because they are not becoming a subscriber once the private reply is sent out, you're not allowed to send them promotional content. So please keep that in mind. Now, there are other people that have our competitors are actually saying that it is allowed, and that's something you should not listen to, because people actually have their pages banned by breaking these rules. Just keep things simple. Try to activate your subscribers. Try to make them a subscriber first and activate them in the 24-hour rule. And then you send promotional content and you should be all fine. Now, I skipped a little point right there. And that's another thing that Facebook doesn't like. You cannot incentivize people to comment on your post. So you cannot blatantly tell people to comment on your post, but you can persuade them. So you need to be careful in your wording, but you cannot ask people to comment on your post, or at least incentivize people to post on your or comment on your post. Something to add there, Fauzi?
Yeah, that's the case. So doing posts like comments below to get the free something, whatever it is, free t-shirt, for example, it's strictly prohibited. But you could do it in more subtle ways. Like, do you have an example, Stefan, right here?
Well, I'm really lacking the creativity right now, but I wanted to say, like,
how cool is this t-shirt, for example, in a post?
Yeah. Now, well, I wanted to actually keep this like a little secret, but I've seen these ads popping up left and right as well. Basically, a little GIF image or a video that is, you actually need to stop the GIF or the video in order to put a picture in the right place. So imagine the background being a white thing with a black hole, and a picture moves quickly across. And if you pause the video, the goal is basically to fit that image into the black hole. Not sure if that makes a lot of sense, but then you can actually have people post the result to that comment, showing that they actually did it, and then have that private reply go out. That's some stuff Facebook really likes as well in terms of creativity or creatives. And that's something you can actually use in order to improve engagement on your posts as well. A sweet little game, basically. Yeah, just moving on right here, because we need to cover a lot of ground with these features. We have I think we are the only tool, right, Fauzi, that has the reaction filter in place. Basically, let me just scroll up just a bit. Right there in the upper left, you can see a little title where it states require a post reaction. And there, just below it, you see I've chosen like and love. And once we hover over the require reaction button, you can actually choose those other reactions as well. Now, let me just go back right here. What this actually does is that it allows you to treat it as a filter. So if you do not put anything on, if you do not use the reaction filter on your fan page posts, then anyone who comments actually gets a private reply. But you can also require them to like or love, in this case, the post first, and comment on your post before the private reply gets sent out. So a little bit more engagement that allows you to basically filter the most passionate people from the rest, something a lot of people would like to use as well.
Yeah, it's also just to manage, if you are managing the reputation of your page, the use of the post engagement tool is not just for you to have subscribers, but also to manage that reputation of your certain page. So you can use the post engagements tool as a tool to actually filter out the people who are, for example, angry in your posts. Like you post something about your brand or about your page or about an offer, and you get someone who makes the angry emoji and makes a comment, so you know that this person is an angry person. Like maybe he doesn't like something about your page or about the post that you've just made. So this is also a way to communicate personally with that person in a private message, to know what is wrong, what's happening, and how you can make things better for them. So you can filter this in a mass. For example, you can tag people who are angry, and you can just do a mass broadcast to them and see why these people are not liking what you're doing.
Yeah, and then you can use that feedback to actually improve upon your post and all that stuff. Yeah. So that's actually a pretty good, interesting approach, buddy. Something I've never thought about. Is this something we are going to implement in our software as well, like reaction segments based on reactions, right? That's something I think we're able to actually get with the new updates, Facebook.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's something we definitely need to start doing as well. Yeah, good. Really, really nice example right there. Not sure why I went again to the next slide. Something which is very cool, and I think there's only one other tool that does this as well, is the catch all post feature. So basically allowing you to set this up only once, and it gets applied to each and every existing post and every new post you do. So all your settings regarding post engagement will be working for each and every existing post and all new posts you do. Basically a hands-off way to get Messenger subscribers easily. And then a new update regarding post engagement is coming soon. Yeah, so Facebook recently opened up some stuff on their backend, and they revamped the code on the post engagement feature on their end a bit, which allows us to elaborate this feature even more and basically build on top on what we have already built. One of the cool main features that is coming is that right now, I think it used to be that once you commented on a fan page post, the private reply went out, and it always let in with this ugly preview of the post you commented on, and we've just tested this, and this is now gone. So it really provides for a seamless experience, and that's really, really great. And another cool feature is that they now allow you to populate the quick replies with the email address of the subscriber. So imagine someone coming in to your chatbot via a fan page post. They comment on that post, you send a private reply immediately with an email address where you, for instance, send a free gift, for example. Now, at that moment, once they click on that button, they actually become a email or messenger subscriber and an email lead, provided you have set it up with one of the integrations we got going on. But obviously, you are going to generate that lead because it's in a custom field.
Yeah.
There you go. Now moving on to the Messenger QR code. Again, guys, this is not to be mistaken with the native scannable codes Facebook did.
Before we move to this, maybe we can answer Rob's question about personal Facebook page.
I think Vasily
Yes.
already answered him. So yeah, Rob was actually asking, is there any way to use post engagement on your personal Facebook page? Vasily answered, hey Rob, it's not possible with your personal Facebook page. That's true, but you can still share your Facebook fan page post to your personal page. Then once they click on that post, they get either redirected or it opens up the post in a lightbox. And if they comment on that, it will still work. So there's a slight workaround right there, which you can actually use, but it's not ideal. But in essence, no, it does not work on your personal Facebook page. And I'm almost 99% sure that Facebook will never allow you to do this because it will turn into a spam fest.
Spam.
Yeah, so only on Facebook fan pages. To elaborate a little bit more on that as well, this does not work in groups either. It's something I'm not sure if Facebook is going to add over time, or if they are going to add it or not. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
but,
especially that groups are getting a lot of traction lately. They are surpassing pages, and yeah, all the features or API should be moved to groups as well.
Yeah. That might happen, but it might not happen. Again, if you want to use this feature in Facebook groups, share that fan page post in your group, and provide clear instructions on what they actually need to do. Again, it's a slight workaround, but it actually works. But again, it works only for fan pages at this moment. It's a Facebook limitation. If it opens up, then we are definitely going to add it. And let's see, another question from Rob. Keep them coming. If we're doing a lot with the post engagement, is there a way to filter for those that engage with other posts and we already have their name and email so we don't drive them nuts? Good question, actually.
Yeah, that's actually possible per post, and there is a workaround so that you have it for all the posts. So later when we're going to demonstrate the post engagement, you will see that there is an option to only send the reply once to a particular subscriber. And if you use the catch all post engagement option, so that it catches all the posts and you do send once, then it will only send it once per user, even if they comment on other posts.
Awesome. I think that is your question answered, Rob. Fauzi will highlight that specifically for you in the demo time. Let me just move on right here with the next slide. Again, guys, first we're going to touch upon briefly on these features. Then we're going to do the demo stuff. So the Messenger QR code is next. Again, you can find it on page level, your chatbot. Then navigate to the magnet icon, and then you will see the Messenger code option right there, opening up in a small menu. And this redirects you again back, or it redirects you to a table. And if you click Create New, it will get you to the page you see right in front of you right here. A very, very easy feature, but really, really powerful. So Messenger QR code benefits and examples. What you can do with these Messenger QR codes is quite cool. I've not used them in such an extent, but I've seen them work in coffee shops, something I'm going to touch upon soon as well. Messenger QR code examples. You can print these QR codes on t-shirts, stickers, flyers, receipts, and you can still use them online, which is something you're going to experience at the end of this training, where we are going to ask you to scan the code, which automatically goes into our a series of questions, and you automatically subscribe to the giveaway of the free t-shirt we are having. So something very cool. Again, you can use this on t-shirts, stickers, and flyers. Basically, people can scan that code and it opens up a little notification pop-up, or it immediately redirects them to the chatbot flow. It really depends on which device and which app you're using to scan those codes. Scanning and for iOS opening, the messenger code subscribes them instantly to your chatbot. Now, if they obviously need to go through that get started button first. They will first, after they scanned the code and they are not a subscriber yet, they actually need to click on get started, and they will go to the flow you have specified thereafter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they are already a subscriber and they already are subscribed, then they immediately go over to the flow, and they don't have to actually click on that get started button anymore. A couple of cool ways to get people from the offline world into your flows. Imagine using this if you have a brick and mortar business. Imagine using this for clients that have a tangible physical business. Like restaurants, physical stores, or a yoga center. Very, very cool stuff. Like for example, you have just wouldn't it be cool if you have just had the most amazing dinner inside a really cool restaurant? They give you the receipt, and on this receipt there is this little QR code you can scan. You scan it, and it opens up Messenger. It's the restaurant, it's the chatbot of the restaurant, and the chatbot is actually thanking you for taking dinner with them. And then they give you a 20% discount coupon on the next time you're going to eat there. I mean, wouldn't that really pique your interest, and wouldn't that really increase, for instance, the word of mouth? Wouldn't it even be cooler that you can send that 20% or 10% discount coupon to a friend, so that you can invite that friend to
Indeed.
go to that restaurant as well? It really helps to create a viral effect for this specific restaurant example. And you can do this with physical stores as well, or a yoga center, or any health center. I mean, your imagination is really the limit when it comes to these codes. And one specific example I wanted to highlight, and this is something I don't work that often anymore in a coffee shop, but when I did this like a couple of months ago, and I needed Wi-Fi, and I just had my coffee, and I was asking for the Wi-Fi password, and normally they actually put it on the receipt, and but it was not there. So I went to the counter and asked for the Wi-Fi password, and they gave me this little paper, which was conveniently the messenger, at that time, the scannable messenger code. I scanned that code. I got the Wi-Fi name and password, and I got a coupon for my next cup of coffee with a 10% discount, and it actually worked. A couple of months I unsubscribed because they actually were abusing the broadcast very, very hard, and I was like, guys, this is not how it needs to go. But some of these broadcasts they did were actually pretty cool to see. They tried to get me back into their coffee shop and get more coffee and all that stuff. But yeah, it didn't work for me, perhaps for others as well, but they spammed me a lot. Anyways, I've won.
That's a good example of why you should not spam your subscribers, because they just get turned off and you just lose them. So.
Yeah, I've never been to that coffee shop anymore, so that's it didn't work for me. So, but yeah, that initial way they captured me as a subscriber really clicked for me, and it really piqued my interest, and it was something different. It was something new, something remarkable. So that's something you can implement for other coffee shops as well as for other things like gyms, like Vasily is just mentioning right here. He's saying love QR codes for gyms and restaurants. Now I can see this working for gyms really, really well as well. There's so many things you can actually use these QR codes for. But these were just a couple of the benefits and examples right there. I'm just quickly moving on before taking a look over at Fauzi. Perhaps you still want to say something?
I'm going to say a few things on the demonstrations, so
Okay, cool.
let's just get
Sounds good.
this
And we're
going.
moving on to the m.me links right here. And the m.me links are to be found in multiple locations, actually. What you're seeing right now is the m.me link library. And this gives you an overview of all the m.me links that are currently tied to a message and active in your chatbot. You can find these m.me links on each and every specific card as well, which is really great. But this m.me link library actually gets you an overview. Let me just dive in a little bit deeper right here. These m.me links are just really great because if you click on those links, it immediately sends them over to the chatbot. Again, if they're not subscribed, I think they need to go to through the Get Started button again. I'm almost 100% positive that they do. They need to click on the Get Started button again, and once they do, they get the flow that's behind that m.me link. Now, if they are already subscribed, they obviously don't have to go through that Get Started button again. They automatically get the flow that's tied to, or message that's tied to that specific m.me link. Now, it allows you to get people in your flows where you hold their hand to the goal you want them to achieve. For example, qualify the lead or make the sale. Imagine sending out an email or an SMS that goes to a qualify lead sequence where you ask them a series of questions, basically survey them, and you get a bunch of people that are more likely to buy, a bunch of people that are not likely to buy. And you can really use that data to qualify the qualified leads, to focus on those qualified leads rather than the leads that are not really interested at all by clicking that link. You can actually embed the m.me link like you do with any normal link, which is pretty amazing to see. For example, in your blog posts, on your website, in your emails. Something I recently started to do tests with. Sometimes I do promotions. As far as he knows, I do promotions for other people. I don't do them that often, but once we have a software that really connects well with Clever Messenger, then we really like to promote that software as well, because we think there is a lot of value in that for you. But what I recently started doing is basically split test those emails and see if there is a difference in terms of sending them directly to that promotional offer, or send them through an m.me link first, so that they get inside the conversational flow, and it allows me to follow up with them on Messenger as well. More information in a conversational style, and not like a spammy style like we used to do all these this last decade. So it's definitely something I'm looking forward to do more, because I really believe that chatbots are the future and are still heavily underused in the way they should. So like I said before, you can use this in your emails, not only for your marketing, but also to reactivate Messenger subscribers again. So this goes hand in hand with the policy changes that are coming up, which, by the way, are postponed to March. We have a other live we did 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago already, about the policy changes and what we are going to do with it. One of the things we mentioned in that live is that you can use m.me links to reactivate people again inside or via email, and reactivate them so that they become active in that 24-hour period again. And then you can send them promotional messages again via Messenger and all that stuff. Again, this also goes hand in hand with SMS. Again, purpose number 1, reactivate Messenger subscribers again, or purpose number 2, marketing. You basically send out a m.me link using SMS, or you basically send them a SMS with that m.me link to reactivate them again, or you send them into that promotional sequence. You can use it in Facebook groups as well. Send out a m.me link. I think there is already, I think if you send a m.me link to a group, it automatically gets populated with the Open Graph image, Fauzi, right? So, yeah, so once you send that, you paste in that link in a group, in a comment or as a post, it automatically grabs the data from your Facebook fan page, and it has this nice little button that says send message as well. So not only is the link visible, but there's also this great little creative people can click on, and they immediately get into your bot and they get what you're actually advertising. So that's really cool as well. Then you can use the m.me link parameters approach to put it all on steroids, something I'm not going to elaborate right now. This is something Fauzi is going to demonstrate. And you can use the m.me link on your cards in the compose to quickly preview a message or flow from a subscriber kind of perspective. So we do not have a preview button yet, but this is something we are going to implement. Right now, we have been using m.me links to preview our messages inside Messenger for now. Something you'd like to add right now, Fauzi?
Well, what I would like to add for the m.me links is that I personally find that m.me links are the most powerful capture tool that we have, because simply it's just, you can put it everywhere. You can put it on your personal Facebook page. You can put it in a direct message to your friends. You can put it on groups. You can put it in SMS, in email, via other messaging apps. You can even write it on a piece of paper and give it to your friends. It's just, you can just put it everywhere.
They can't click in there.
Yeah, you can paint it on your store's wall. It's like this master key that allows you to get a subscriber from everywhere.
Yeah.
Without any change or
yeah,
much.
It's very versatile. That's really cool. Yeah, and that's what I like about it as well. Like basically getting a subscriber with one single click. Well, technically two, right? As they need to click on the start button as well. But the friction is very low, basically non-existent, and it's the path to least resistance actually. So the ability to generate a messenger subscriber is probably the lowest with an m.me link, and it immediately gets them into that flow where you can ask for their email or phone number, right? So that's pretty powerful.
What is also interesting is that you can, because this is a link, you can put link shorteners inside this link, or you can even put it under your domain and do a redirection. If you think that the m.me link is ugly or long enough, or you can just create a link inside your website which has your website and domain, and it will redirect to your m.me link so that it's shorter for the users as well. So it also is brandable, which is also very interesting about this. Of course, we're looking also forward to have tools like this inside Clever Messenger, where you can have your own domain points to a certain m.me link. But even now, you can do it with your domain manager, or you can just do it via link shorteners if you just want to have a pretty link. So it's also
really easy to do, because we're about to show you some very ugly links. That's for sure. But they work, so that's I think the thing that counts. Let's see. Just looking at the chat right here, Stanley is asking me, how often did they message you? Around 10 times a day. So that's a bit too much for my taste. This is regarding the coffee shop example where they broadcasted me to death. So that's something they did 10 times a day. Rob is asking, is the m.me link the best way to create and start the demo of each template bot? Is that something you would like to take on? I'm not sure what I What you mean is the m.me
Is the
link the best way to create and start the demo for each template bot? In terms of
it's
previewing, I should say yes.
yeah.
But if you're talking about a template you want to show to a client, I'm not necessarily so. If you want to guide them into a specific direction, then definitely use an m.me link. However, if you want to give them a blank example of how it feels like, how they on a first-time example on how it feels like when they're about to enter your chatbot, I would just send the generic. It's also an m.me link, right? I mean, the general, yeah. So these the generic m.me link, which is basically m.me/your page name, or if you have not qualified for an ad username yet, it's basically a string of numbers which we provide on the dashboard of things. Then I would definitely provide that m.me link, which gives them a full demo. Now, if you want to demo certain parts of your template or chatbot, then definitely use a m.me link.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would also just recommend to use that. It's also just, I mean, if you want to be very exact about things, like you don't want to miss a certain parts, like the welcome message or whatever thing it is. It's also the quickest way to get started with the template as well. Because if you just send the m.me link with that page name, then probably people will get confused. They don't know what they have to click on or what do they have to do. But I think m.me link is pretty straightforward even for that.
Well, really, yeah, it depends on your end goal, but I'm in agreement with Fauzi right here. If you want to show them a specific thing, then definitely go with the m.me link. Yeah, so I hope that clarifies it a bit for you, Rob. If not, then please ask more questions. I know you will. Vasily, laughing. I think that's regarding the coffee shop again, and Stanley. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a lot of broadcasts indeed. So yeah, this I think concludes the little overview about the capture features. So right now we are going to take a look on how this all ties together. We are going to switch over to our screen. I think Fauzi, this is you. And
Yes.
we are going to showcase how to set up these capture tools, namely how to create these capture tools inside Clever Messenger, and you're going to discover how these capture tools actually work. So let me just,
Awesome.
I think I need to switch off my screen, right, buddy?
Yeah, you should.
There we go.
Awesome, cool. So I'm going to share it right away, and I think it's a done thing.
Yeah, you're live.
Awesome, cool. So we're going to start with what we started with in the slides, which is the post engagements.
Cool.
So just like we discussed in the previous live, all the capture tools are under this little magnet icon. So you have to click here first, and it will show you a list of all the capture tools that we have. Now we are interested in the post engagement capture tool. So we obviously click on post engagements, not messenger codes, but post engagements. There we go. So first it will be a blank list. You can create as many post engagements tools here as you want. So before I create post engagements tool right here, I need to have posts on my page, of course. So here I'm going to go to the Clever Chatbot 101, which is the page that we're managing right here. And I'm going to here, there is no post, so we're going to create a test post. So I'm just going to, by the way, this is the new Facebook. I'm not really convinced yet.
I just wanted to say, like, if someone is getting confused, like, why has Fauzi special a special Facebook skin? It's because he was already given the new Facebook on pages, profile, and all that stuff. This is actually how it's going to look like, people. So all white, a lot of more things for you to click on. It's a little bit different. But yeah, it's something we need to get used to, as they will probably push this down our throats. So.
Yeah, that will be the case too. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting used to it, but obviously it will just we will get all used to it. That's how it works. So I'm just going to go here and create a post. So I'm just going to call it test post because we're not very creative today.
It's the end of the year, man. I mean,
it has been a long year. So we can choose a design. I'm not even sure if this is also new things that they came up with.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there is the new. I mean, the handwritten stuff. That's definitely new. Now I'm kind of jealous. So you should be happy, Fauzi.
Yeah, I'm very happy because of this. It's made my whole year. So I'm just going to post this. Sorry.
Yeah. So what Fauzi is actually doing right now is basically setting up a post, and we are going to tie the post engagement feature to this specific post.
Indeed. So right now that I've created a post, I can go here and click on create new, and I'm going to call it again tests post and I'm just going to add to it. And we get this nice builder, which is the post engagement builder. The first thing you will notice is it splits into two views. We have the right view and we have the left view. So the right panel or the right panel contains all the posts that you can actually tie to this particular tool that you've created. Of course, all the posts that you have created under your page will show here. They will show as similar to what you see on Facebook. So we have here a live preview. Also, in terms of likes or comments, you will be able to see the stuff over here. And you also see on the top a catch-all posts selector, which we will talk about in a bit. So I'm going to ignore it for now. So here we have the option to select all the posts. Of course, if I has more than one post, I will see all the posts right here. And we have to actually click on a post to tie this post to the particular tool. So we have to click on it and it becomes green. Once it becomes green, we know that it is the post that you selected. Of course, you have the ability to select more than one post in this post engagement. Now I'm going to create another one just to demonstrate here. Let's say create posts, test posts too. So we did this to save you guys time so that if you're planning to have two similar posts that have a similar content and you want to tie them to the same tool, then you can do this. I'm just going to refresh the page. I don't need anything special over here.
There we go.
And you can see both my posts. So we have the first one and we can click on the second one and all the options that we're going to specify here will be tied to both the posts. Now, if you want to just apply all the settings that you have here to all the posts without manually selecting each of them, you can use the catch all posts. So once I click on catch all posts, you see that all the other posts will become slightly visible. So you cannot select them anymore because this catch all selects everything for you. Mm-hmm. So this is also a nice way to apply the same settings to all the posts. So here I'm going to select the post that we have created over here, and we're going to actually start applying the settings to this particular.
Before you do, can I intervene just for a bit?
Of course.
I just wanted to, because you just explained the difference between the catch-all and the other post right here. Once you actually select a post right here and you create an entirely new post engagement setup, the post you selected right here will not be shown on the new setup because you have already chosen this post in the previous setup.
That's a good.
Yeah, so this allows, this basically allows for non-duplication of the private replies that are going to send out. And yeah, it should be a good enough explanation right there. Not sure if you have more to add right there.
Thanks for that. And you actually reminded me of something else I need to show as well. Okay. So what Stefan mentions is if I actually select this particular post, and I'm just going to demonstrate it right here. Here I cannot save because it's already saved, but it shows a warning that there is no reply already, but that's fine. So imagine that here we have selected this post and we wanted to create another, sorry, not send to Messenger, but post engagement.
So many features already.
Yeah, you get lost inside them. So let's imagine that I want to create a second one for test post 2. You will see here that I will see only test post 2. I will not see the other post because I have already used that post in another tool. What is also something worth mentioning is, for example, let's imagine that I've selected catch all posts and I had this catch every 10, but I don't want a particular post to be affected by this setting. So I want all my posts to have certain settings, which is the catch all post here, but I want a particular one to have something different. Then you simply create a new post engagement tool. For example, I'm going to go back to this one. Let's imagine that I've just created this post engagement here. And the post you select over here will actually have its own settings. Even if here you don't see, you see that the catch all option is not there anymore because it is already used, but I still can select individual posts.
Yeah.
But yeah, what that means is that particular post will have different settings that I will specify here, while all the other posts will have the same settings that were specified under the catch all tool.
Yeah, so basically the individual post settings override the catch-all post settings.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So I'm going to continue with this, which is selecting the test post over here. So here we have the settings tab where we have few options that we can specify or we can just leave to their default values. So here the first one, which is enable to privately reply to first level comments only. So here, when you are doing comments on a certain Facebook page or posts, you can make a post like this. So here I'm commenting as myself. So I can make a comment.
Also something to mention, guys, if you're testing this, always make sure you comment as yourself, not as the page, because otherwise it won't work. You need to comment as yourself in order to get it actually.
Yeah, good. Another good intervention right there, Stefan.
Yeah, I keep going, man.
Nice. That's really good observation there, because that happened to us as well many times because by default Facebook gives you the option to comment as the page, and we just forget to change this and it doesn't work. So to test this, you have to select yourself here from the role picker and you make a comment. So this is a first level comment. So when I comment on the specific posts, we call this first level. However, if I comment on another comment, then this is a second level post. So let's imagine that someone wants to say something about the comment I've just posted here, which is reply to comment, for example. Then you can see this is coming on the second level. So you have the option to actually trigger a response either on first level only or both first level and second level. We don't have the option to trigger it on second level only because it doesn't make much sense. But this is what you can actually do right here with that option. So if you leave it to its default, which is deactivated, then it will all the time trigger a response, whether it is a first level or second level comments. But if you toggle this option here, it will only send replies to the first level comments. I'm going to leave it as it is for the sake of this demonstration. Here we have another interesting option. So this is also something that we're the only one to actually provide, which is send the message to the same user only once per post. So let's imagine that you're sending a message for everyone who comments, and I made a comment over here, which is comments. I got the private reply already from the page, and I make another comments, for example, comments too. So if I leave this option to its default here, which is deactivated, it will all the time send a response to the user who commented, no matter how many times that particular user comments on a certain post. However, if you enable the option here, it will only send it once per post. So here in this case, I will receive a private reply on this first comment, but all the other comments that will come after it will not trigger anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to mention, Stefan, on
Well,
this?
this goes directly towards Rob. Rob earlier asked for if we are doing a lot with the post engagement, is there any way to filter for those that engaged with other posts and we already have their name and email so we don't drive them nuts? This is that toggle you would like to use. Fauzi just demonstrated that that toggle, it's the second toggle you would like to enable, and this only sends out a private reply to people who did not receive a private reply from you prior. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's
Cool.
another question from Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Can you demonstrate sharing it to your personal page and showing how that can work? That's something we can do after Fauzi finishes his quick tutorial.
Cool. Then we have the next options, which is requiring a post reaction. So this is also something that we the only ones to actually have. So here, what this does is it allows you to send a private reply to your to a certain person who comments in your page, but also reacts on that particular post. So if they just comment, nothing will be triggered, but if they comment and do a reaction, then the private reply will be sent. Of course, this is optional. If you don't select it, then a comment will be enough to trigger private reply. But if you require an action or a reaction, then both a reaction and a post will be required to send a particular private message. Of course, we don't have the option to just require post reaction. So let's imagine that's, yeah, we tried this. You cannot offer the possibility to just have a reaction and then send a private reply. It has to be a reaction along a comment or just a comment. Yeah. So here you specify all the reactions that you want to have. So for example, people who like and love that particular posts and make a post to it, we receive that private reply. Of course, you can have all we support all the reactions that are currently offered by Facebook. So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it here to its default. Of course, if you add this, you can remove it anytime. That's easy to do. Now we have the other options, which is exclude comments with these keywords and only trigger for comments with these keywords. Now, by default, any comment will actually trigger the private reply. However, if you want to exclude certain keywords or phrases to trigger this particular private reply, then you specify them over here. So for example, let's find a good keyword.
It doesn't matter. Like it's.
Let's just do spam. Yeah, someone commenting with some spam keywords. Yeah. Whenever that person includes that spam phrase or words in their comments, then that comment will not trigger the private reply. So let's say that I'm going to say this post is a pure spam because we have the word spam here or the keyword spam here that we have already specified here under the excludes comments. Then this comment will not trigger anything. So depending on your post, you may have scenarios where you don't want your private reply to be sent. Then you can just include these scenarios in the exclude section. Now there is the opposite of this, which is only trigger comments. So this will actually trigger for every comment that does not have the spam keywords. Mm-hmm. Now the second option will let you send the private reply to users who comment with the specific keyword. So if someone says hello, then that particular private reply will be sent. But if they comment with anything else, other than hello, nothing will actually be sent. Of course, you can combine both the exclude and include as both parameters. So here you say that it will trigger on users who comment with hello, but if someone writes hello spam, then it will not trigger because it also includes keywords which is already excluded. I know the example is weird. It's,
Yeah, well, it's a good
we
call.
have to do something.
Yeah.
Of course, here you can add as many keywords as you want. We don't have a limit on those, and it will just work with what you specify.
Exactly.
Now,
I think
these are the only.
switch them off for the demonstration.
Yeah, I think everyone is waiting for that private reply to be fired. So how we set this private reply that we have been talking about is under the submitted tab. So we just click on it and
Before
we
you
go.
do, are you going to use the trigger keywords?
Yes, it's fine. I'm going to use them in this section just to
Awesome.
showcase everything. Yeah, cool. So this submitted tab, here we have the private reply after post engagement. So here it might be a little bit confusing because we have two kind of replies or messages that get sent when someone replies to a post. So the first time someone comments on your post, for example, writes comment over here, then they will get this text that you specify here, which is the private reply after post engagements. And once they reply to that post, they will get the flow that you actually send over here. So we're going to demonstrate this so that it's not confusing. So I'm going to write here, hello, and this supports, by the way, emojis and also system attributes for personalization like first name, last name, full name, page name, and you can also include global variables. So if you are storing some information about your page and you want it to be sent with your private reply, then you can also include it. So here
we can also, I think it's pin syntax, right, to randomize this thing.
Yes, that's I almost forgot about it.
It's a hidden feature.
It's a hidden feature. So we have also a randomizer where you can actually send many replies from the same post, and they are selected randomly. So how you do this? You add this pipeline character, and you specify your other message. So for example, you want sometimes to send hello first name, sometimes you want to send hi first name, then this delimiter will actually let you do it. So it will just decompose this private reply into many private replies. I know there are some pages which actually send leads or send coupons or send whatever stuff to people who comment on their posts. So this is also a great way to send these things without having to create many replies. Only one, and you have the delimiter, and you will send multiple replies randomly. So here I'm just going to leave it simple hello first name, and here we have the option to specify when do we want this private reply to be sent. So either immediately after the user comments on your posts, they will receive the private reply. You can specify it to be sent after an amount of seconds, an amount of minutes, or after an amount of hours. So you have the option here. Here I'm just going to leave it to immediately. And then we have the flow to send after submission. So after someone replies to the message, hello first name, you have the option to send them to either flow or single message. So here, I'm just going to send them to the leads gen flow so that we get their details.
Awesome.
So I'm going to save this post by clicking on save. Here you have the option to enable and disable the tool. So if you just want to temporarily pause the tool from sending private replies, so you can just toggle this thing over here and it will be paused. If you want to resume it, you just resume it. So I'm going to start with this and make a comment on this test post. So here I've specified that it will only trigger with hello and not containing spam. So I'm just going to write hello.
You need to write on the other post. So
Sorry. Thanks, Stefan.
no problem. You need to
Yeah.
write
So
it yourself.
yeah, thanks for being there.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome, cool. So I'm just going to say
This
hello.
happened to me recently, and I was like, "Why is this feature not working anymore?" And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just
It's good.
me screwing up.
Yeah. Awesome, cool. So here I already have a message. Hey Rob, by the way, I see that you sent me a message here. So it's very hard to work with Facebook over here because it does hide the this. Okay, cool, the stuff. So here you can see at 5:11, which is the current time over here, 5:11. I've received a message which is hello, and it replaced first name by my first name. And you can see that you have here a little note saying that Clever Chatbot 101 is responding to comments you made on their page, and you can view the comments by following this link. So it shows you that here is why this page is actually contacting you, because you made a comment on this particular post. Now, if I reply to this particular message and say, hey,
With anything,
yeah, with anything here, then I'm receiving the lead gen flow that we've actually specified to be sent. So I can just continue with my flow normally. And with that said, we've just acquired a new subscriber just from commenting on a page.
Yeah, a message
On a page post,
subscriber, and if he puts in his email, also a email lead as well.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing stuff. Just taking a look here at the chat. Not sure if you guys have any questions or any remarks regarding this feature. I think this is one of the coolest features inside Clever Messenger because it allows for so much possibilities right here. So let us know in the chat if you like this, guys. If there's any questions, just put them in and let us know. So far, no questions. I can see that Miles, you joined. Thanks for watching and joining right here, buddy. Great to have you. Fazu, you can actually continue.
Awesome, cool. So here, if I responded with anything else, like hello spam, for example, I would not receive the private reply, hopefully. Okay, cool. So we haven't received anything, which means that this has worked. And of course, if I just require the reaction, then I would have has to make that particular reaction over here before that that thing is actually sent. So in a nutshell, this is the post engagements. You can go and play with it. Of course, the best ways to learn things is to go and play with them, try different things so that you see how it can serve your purpose. And you could also see here that I had already a catch-all post, but because I had this single post which did override the catch-all post, then I just got what I've specified here under the settings. So you also get some statistics about the post engagement.
Be cool to show. In the meanwhile, guys, I'm just putting the change or no the article to the support article in the chat as well, so that you guys can at your own time read this back as well.
Cool. So here you have statistics about totally engaged, unique, acquired subscribers, conversion rates. Of course, because I am already a subscriber of this page, that's why you see that I'm not unique over this post, and I'm not an acquired subscriber because I was already a subscriber before this post engagement stuff. But if there are new people coming in just from your post engagement tool, then you will see the unique counters here, and you will see how many are actually acquired, and you can see the conversion rates coming from your different tools. So if you guys have any questions, then please let us know. If not, I can move to the second demonstration, which is the messenger codes, right?
Yes,
Stefan? I think you will be doing that one since you have the...
No.
No? Okay, cool.
We're just briefly touching up on the feature on how it works. The immersive demo happens at the end.
Okay, cool. So I think no questions.
No,
right, Stefan?
no, you can go ahead.
Cool. Cool. So we can go to the messenger codes capture tool, which you can use by clicking on the capture tool and clicking on the messenger codes. So you see that we have already a couple of codes created. So to create a new one, obviously, we need to click on create new. So I'm just going to say or name this test QR codes. And I'm going to click on confirm.
Yeah, such a great feature.
Yeah, this is also
and very easy to
stage.
set up.
Yeah.
And
Indeed, yeah. So the first time you click on it, it's already ready. That is also why this is also very easy to set up. So at this point, everything is ready for you. You have your scan codes. You're ready to print it or use it online or wherever you want to use it. So with that said, the default settings here are the general message type. So what this means is that when you scan this QR code over here, it will send you to the general get started, as you can see on the preview. It will act as if someone went on the page directly and it will and clicked on get started. So it acts the same way. Of course, here, since the m.meanings are now part of m.meanings in their inner implementation, then you will also see the get started that you have to click, and that's why you also see it here. So this general stuff is just like going to the page itself and trying to start a conversation with the page. You have the option to specify a flow or a single message. So here, for example, if you want someone to go to the leads gen flow by scanning your QR code, then you select as a message type flow, you select your flow, and you select the size of your the size of your QR code. So if you're going to be printing it, then you need to have a clear enough or a big enough size. If you want to also put it on a flyer or on a graphics which has a certain heights, big heights, then you should select that height over here. So you have the option to select the height. Of course, the more heights you specify, or the more height and width, which is the size, the more pixels are into this image and the more it is clear. So we always recommend you to go for something like 1000 pixels, which should be clear enough and good enough for you to use. So you specify the size and you click on generate codes, and it will fetch the data and it will generate the code for you. So here you saw that the 300 pixels one was a little bit unclear, while the 1001 is much sharper here and clearer when you look at it. So that's something to take into consideration. Of course, if you are using this as a small image on your website, then you don't need 1000 pixels because it will take a little bit of time to load on your web page. It might slow loading time. So for small images, you can just put 300 pixels, 400 pixels, and it will be fine to work with. So once you click on generate code, you can save it, and you can actually start using it. So I'm just going to go back here to show you how you can actually download it. You can either do this by remaining on the same page, which is the QR codes builder page, and click on this more icon and click on downloads. Once you do this, it will actually download your image, or you can go to the QR code manager and click on actions and also specify downloads so that you can download it without having to enter the builder another time. So you have the option to select the flow as we saw. We also have the option to select a single message, as you can see here. And every time you change the settings, you need to click on generate codes so that a new code is generated for you. You just save it and you can start using it by downloading it and using it into your websites or using it offline.
Demonstrate the little the 3 dots at the right upper corner already.
Yeah, this is for downloads. Yeah, I did that already. Yeah.
Also, I think that's how easy it is to actually create a messenger code. And from there, you, like Fuzzy said before, You print this out, you put it on flyers, stickers. We're actually not allowed to paste or put stickers everywhere in the Netherlands. But if you're living in a country that actually allows this as a commercial viable method of advertising, then you should definitely do so. I think it was Wade in our group right here. He actually, when he was still using messenger codes, the native one, the native messenger codes done by Facebook, he actually printed out this a messenger code and put this on a notice board. I'm not sure if it was a supermarket or some other store, but he put that on a notice board, and that led to a flow which was about selling his second-hand car. I think there was a little description there as well, just below or on top of that messenger code, that they needed to scan that code and they would be able to get the more details about the car that was on sale. And Wade actually managed to get rid of the car. So that's really, really cool. Someone actually walked by that notice board and scanned the code. The deal was done. Wade was happy. He got rid of his car, got some money, and the new owner was happy with his car. So that's how powerful these things can be. It really depends, though, on where you actually live. I think Wade is located in Australia. That's where these messenger codes and QR codes are a little bit more popular. Messenger codes and QR codes are actually getting more popular in the Netherlands right now as well. Even though they have been around for years, I think more than 10 years right now. It's now that we actually see them on notice boards or big commercial boards as well. So definitely not that at all. You can actually use this on in so many ways. I've already touched upon this with the coffee shop example as well. Again, if you guys joined just now, wait for the reply, because there's a cool little example, a couple of examples actually at the start of this training on how you can use these nifty little tools.
Yeah.
Cool.
Something to add over here is that iPhones do come with a default QR scanner from the camera, while Androids don't come with that, but the Facebook's app actually contains a QR reader. So even if the Android user does not have a QR reader in their camera, they can use Facebook app still by searching on QR codes inside Facebook app, and they will get to a QR code scanner right from Facebook, where they can actually be redirected to their message.
Yeah, there's a post I did earlier today, guys, which was a free PSD. And there was also the conversation about the devices and the way to actually scan these codes. So let me just fetch the change log link really quickly and add that to the chat right here as well, because at the bottom of this post there is actually the thing Fauzi just tried to explain, and how you can actually get to the Facebook native scanner as well.
Awesome, thanks for that, Stefan. And if there are more yeah,
let's one moment please. At the bottom, some nice info. There we go. Jerry is here. Welcome, dude. Great to see you again. Jerry's saying, I printed your QR code for a flow I created, but for some. Seems like an incomplete sentence right there, Jerry. But I love it that you printed the QR code already, and that's how it should be done. It's a great way to get people from the offline world in your little online world, or in your.
I think Jerry had maybe remember his request. I think the code was not scanned in a certain device. Maybe that device was an Android device, and he was using an app which didn't support this QR style that we are actually using. But if you're using Facebook's native QR reader or iPhone or even the popular QR code scanners for Androids, the code should actually be sent,
Cool.
and your message should be delivered.
Yeah, he's saying I had printed a QR code from one of my Clever Messenger flows about 4 weeks ago and tried to scan it, but it would not scan. Have you done an update to the QR code creation, or has anyone experienced issues with printing the QR code for? I should say try again and hit up support, because we have like a 10 out of 10 scan rate. It always works. So if you bumped into an issue, it might be that might be the case what Fauci just tried to explain, which is that the scanner you have been using is not supported or is not able to read this particular scan code. We made sure we picked one of the most generic QR codes, so it should be readable or scannable by each and every device. Also, do click on that link I just shared you, which allows you to use it with Facebook's QR scanner, and they use the most default thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Rob is saying, I just scanned this particular QR code and it worked great. I've printed
Awesome.
QR codes and worked great. Check your pixels too. Great advice, Rob, right there. Jerry, that might be the case as well. Make sure that your pixels are a little bit higher so that the image is a little bit more clear. It might be the case that the image got a little bit distorted. And yeah. You can also send us over that QR code to support and we try it. You're saying that you used an iPhone 10 and an iPhone 11. I've got both of those here as well as an iPad. They all work just fine, so it might be something.
Yes, might be what Rob just mentioned. That's actually a good case. If you use the 300 pixels and printed it, it would probably distort the pixels because it's of a low quality. If you want to print them, try using 1000 and more, so that you have consistent quality over the pixels.
Yes, printables always go with high resolutions because that gives you the best result.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to try one thing though. Let me just try one quick thing. I think I was able to share my phone with Zoom as well. I got my phone right here, so I'm gonna try and see if I can share that. I'm quickly going to take over the screen really quickly.
Sure.
So just trying to see if this is possible.
That would be great to actually showcase that.
I'm not sure. Trust this computer. It says connect your iPhone. Connect iPhone. It's not doing anything for me right now at this moment. I have this Docker that allows me not to connect it for some reason. So no, this is not going to work. I'm going to do this in another training and see if we can actually get that to work as well.
Share the phone, yeah. It would be cool if we can see your phone, Stefan.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, we can test that for another moment. Maybe next live.
Sounds good. You can go ahead and share again, Fuzzy.
Sure.
While I fix my stuff.
Sounds good.
Stop sharing mine. There you go.
Okay, cool. We will continue from where we left. Of course, you can add as many QR codes as you want, and you can link them to any kind of messages or flows that you have. Of course, you don't have to change the QR code every time you change settings, because I mean, if you go back to the same settings, you can use the same QR codes. You don't have to redo it every time you want to generate to see a QR code or change a flow or a card on it. Now I'm going to, if we don't have more questions about this, maybe I should just go to the overview one last time.
He's saying Jerry's saying great advice. I test the QR code before printing first, then download a high-res image and test again. Thanks, guys. Cool. I think that should do the trick. And you promised Jerry a video regarding contact breach. Not sure what that is about, but that's something.
Yeah. I will go back to you, Jerry, about this. Yeah. Sorry about that. Some events happened right when I was about to shoot that video for you, and that didn't happen. So I'm going to make that up for you right after this live. So I'm going to continue with this. Here on your code manager, you can actually preview all of your settings right away. So you just click on your on the column on the row that holds your QR code name, and it will show you both the QR code and the preview, so that you have a quick preview over what your QR code does, so that you don't have to edit it anytime you just want to see how it works. And you can also just click on the downloads button to download your QR codes. With that said, I'm going to move to the last capture tool for this session, which is the MDOS Me link. If you guys don't have any questions, I'll just go ahead and move.
No questions so far, and if we get any questions, then we will answer them in the Q&A.
Awesome, cool. So MDOS Me links are accessible via different means. So the first one is via the MDOS Me link library. So you go again to the magnets over here, you click on MDOS Me link library, and once you do that, you will see all of the messages or cards that you have inside your chatbots, and you can see the MDOS meanings for these particular messages. So for example, here you see the message name is composed from the flow name and the card name. So here you have the card name, which is welcome message text part 1, and you have it's under the welcome message flow, and it just continues like this. So if you just wanted to filter MDOS meanings for a particular flow, you just hit the search bar over here, and for example, we want all the MDOS meanings for the lead gen flow. I'm just going to use lead gen and the flow, and it will just show all the cards for this particular flow. And you can select your MDOS meanings and distribute them all over your websites, emails, SMS, whatever mean you want to distribute it with. So this is the first way to do so. And the second way to access MDOS meanings is simply
via click on it as well.
Yes, thank you for that, Stefan. So the moment we click on an MDOS Me link or on a message name, we get a preview of that message as well, so that we see what this message is about. And of course, you have the MDOS Me link, which is showcased here on the column. Of course, you can copy the link by, if you're too lazy to copy the link to do this action, copy link address, you can just do it like this. Actions and use copy, and the MDOS Me link is saved to your clipboard, and you can paste it wherever you want to paste it. Now, the second way to actually access MDOS Me links is via the flow composer. So you go to the flows manager, you select whatever flow you have, for example, the lead gen flow. I'm going to edit it, and once it loads, we are able to select the cards that we want to distribute. And we click on the cogwheel. For example, we want to distribute this, ask for email address cards. We just click on the cogwheel over here. And we go to the triggers tab, and we see the MDOS Me link that we can simply copy. Of course, we urge you to also add a button here for you to copy to clipboards without having to copy it from here. So that's something that will come up later.
Cool. So this is the link we're actually using to preview our cards and flows and messages, right? So we do not have a preview button yet, but that's something that is on the backlog. Right now, what we have been doing for the last 2.5 years already is we're just clicking that link in order to preview that particular part of a message or a flow. So a specific message or a particular part of a flow. So do note that if you have any messages attached to that card after that specific m.me link, it will also trigger all those messages, right? So that's something that we need to probably inform as well. That once you, for example, have a flow consisting out of, let's say, 6 text cards, and you take the m.me link of the third card, you will, and you click that, you will receive card number 3, 4, 5, and 6, because those other text cards are attached to that first card, right? So you get those as well. That's something to note.
This is just what happens right now. I've used the m.me link for the image cards here, which is the first part of the flow, and the image card is links to the ask for email address. So here, when I clicked on the email on the m.me link for that image cards, you see that the image card was delivered, and everything after it was delivered, which was here in this case the ask for email card. So as Stefan just mentioned, everything that is linked directly with the card that you take the m.me link from will also be delivered with the m.me link.
Cool.
Anything else you want to add, Stefan, for that part?
Nothing.
Awesome, cool. So as we mentioned, m.me links are a very convenient way to deliver messages and get subscribers. So you saw that earlier. I've clicked on that m.me link and I've got my message right away. Of course, if the person is not subscribed yet to your bots, they will get a get started button, which they click and they will receive that particular flow. So here we also have an upgraded version of the m.me links, which is m.me link, which upgraded feature of it, which is m.me link parameters. So this will allow you to also send, not only deliver the message, but also execute actions over your subscriber when they click on that particular m.me link. So here you have an example that is already set. Here you have the possibility to set custom fields and apply tags to the person who clicks on that link without even doing any action, just by clicking on that link. So here you see that we have the link and we have some parameters here, which is email equal test@test.com, phone equal whatever phone, and we have tags over here, which is tag 1, gamma tag 2, etc. So this is how you actually add custom fields and tags to the m.me link that you have. So you just copy your m.me link and you specify the custom fields, for example here, email, by doing --, as you specify the value for that particular custom field that you set. So here, I'm going to demonstrate this right away. I'm going to go to the audience. Oops, I clicked with force.
This is great, right? I mean, you can use this in multiple ways. One that actually pops up is Active Campaign for some reason. So you can actually replace the parameters with a custom field inside Active Campaign or any other autoresponder of the type email, and you replace that so that it replaces by the email. So once you send out an email with your autoresponder to that link, then everyone that actually clicks on that link, the email will automatically, the email address will automatically be replaced and will also be captured inside Clever Messenger, where you can further repurpose that with tagging and segmenting, and you really have a two-way link between both applications that way.
Yeah, that's a good example. Also another example, if you are sending the same campaign, which is the same flow over here, using email and using SMS, then you can tag, you can use the same m.me link, but with different parameters to tag people who are coming from SMS and ones who are coming from email. So let's imagine that you are sending this flow over here. I'm going to build on this example over here. On your email, you will include that link, and you will have as tags, for example, coming from email.
Mhm.
And this is what you actually paste inside your email that your users click. But if you are sending SMS with the m.me link included in the SMS, then you will have as a tag coming from SMS, for example. So here, if I clicked on it, let's imagine that I received a particular email and I clicked on that m.me link. So the moment the person or I click on it, I will receive my messages, of course, as you will be able to see, hopefully. Let's go to that part over here. And we also have the coming from email tag, which is applied to the profile. And we have the email and phone, which were also applied to our particular subscriber.
Yeah. And you
So
can
if
use it
that
with
person,
SMS too, right? I mean, if you use
yeah,
SMS, then
yeah. So that you don't have to create different flows for different campaigns, but you can just continue with the same. You just use the same flow and have dynamic parameters inside that particular m.me link, so that you control parameters or information that you link your subscriber with.
yeah. And this is also great. Like if you want to, Fauzi just mentioned the example of email, SMS, but you can also use this like putting it inside a particular Facebook group with the Facebook group name. So as you know that they are coming or originating from that specific Facebook group where you actually share your m.me link, so that you know which Facebook group is actually giving you the most active leads or the most clicks. It's something you can use on your personal page as well. A really good way to see where the people are coming from. And it's just a simple way to start tracking where your subscribers are coming from, something we are already doing with the entry points. But this way you can actually get more in-depth detail on that as well. And yeah, with the parameters like email, phone number, you can actually generate those things as well. And you can further repurpose content as well, like the autoresponder example I just gave.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Cool. So that's about m.me links, I guess. Let's go back to the flow and see if there is something else that we're missing. Seems not the case. Cool. Yeah, so that's about m.me links. Again, they are very powerful. They are very versatile, and you can just put them anywhere, customize them, brand them. It's up to you to use them how you see it's more fits to your business and to your conversion goals.
Cool. Wasili says that's awesome. Really great. Yeah. So guys, we really need to go forward. I think we're already at this for almost 2 hours right now.
Yeah.
Like 1 hour introduction and almost 1 hour demo time right here. And like I said at the start of this training, I mean, we went over these things very elaborately, I should say, but there's so much to it, guys. I mean, we have really literally just been scratching the tip. I really want to give you more examples, but we're kind of on a timetable right here. And we actually just want to move forward. So guys, if there's no questions, we'd like to go and further with the presentation, which is just a little notion or a mention. Let me just share the screen right here. Share. Oh. Present. There we go. Man, I really love the Zoom experience, by the way. Just
yeah, it was very smooth.
quick shout out to Zoom. I think we should integrate with these guys, Fauzi.
I've never seen so much votes on a particular integration than we saw for Zoom.
Yeah, that's really nice to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks, Fauzi. Just want to give thanks to you for the elaborate demo right there on all of these features. Again, very, very good quality and really allows other people to actually see what these features are all about. Again, I just want to mention it one more time. It's just scratching the tip because you can actually use these m.me link parameters in much more advanced ways, but it's okay. The examples we will give for that will be featured in later trainings, as well as the advanced trainings for post engagement and the messenger code as well. So that's something we are going to do in other trainings as well. For the smart people that actually been on this training and the previous training, we have demonstrated and explained like 6 capture features. There's like another capture feature which is called the JSON generator, but we purposely did not explain anything or yeah, talk about this because this really deserves its own training. And that's something we are going to talk about in the more advanced training sessions, as this has to do with Facebook ads as well. Yeah, so let's continue right here. Again, Fauzi, thanks.
Rob, you're welcome. Thanks as well, Stefan,
Sure.
for the interventions and good introduction. Rob is asking a question we forgot about it, which is, can you quickly share to person page the post engagements? So he was asking about
Sure,
that.
but it's just like sharing a normal page.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to do that in the Q&A session, but since we all love Rob, let me just check right here. I need to figure out the link. I know you have sent it earlier. I think
Clever Chatbot 101. Yeah, that's the one.
There's a lot of one-on-one chatbots. Not sure
Yeah.
why. So yeah, this is me back at this this page right here. This is the post Fauzi actually set up. Now the only thing I need to do is again go and switch to my personal profile right here. In this case, Stefan Vandervlek, and then it's kind of an anti-climax, I guess, because you only have to share it now as public or share it right there, and this shares it on your personal profile. People then can click on this specific link. Let me just show you. Let me just do this and do it in a only me, so no one else gets bothered by this little demo right here. And they're spraying ice. There's a lot of competition watching us, so a secret as well. Let me just go right here, and as you can see, I still have the normal Facebook. I was not chosen, as Fauzi was chosen by Facebook. Anyway, so I've just shared this right here. I can actually click on this post and then comment on it right here, and it goes back. Now, if you have a picture, let's say I upload a picture and attach the comment reply to that, then the whole picture is clickable, and that opens up the Facebook page in a lightbox, and then they need to comment on that thing on the right side. So much like, I'm not sure how you are currently seeing this live, but if you're watching it in a full screen, it basically opens up in a similar fashion where you have the content of the post, in this case, the image on the left, and you can comment on the right, much like the live you're in right now.
Awesome, cool. I think that answers
there's more questions coming in, but let me just finish this bit right here and then move over to the Q&A, which is next. So I'm still sharing the screen. Yeah, let me just hit present right there. Just wanted to go over really quickly, guys, just why Clever Messenger has the best setup in terms of capture tools. In this case, post engagement messenger, QR code, and the m.me links. These are our top picks. The reaction filters. Fauzi has demonstrated this earlier. I've been talking about this at the start of this training. We are actually the only ones, the only tool that has this. So this is where we are more clever. You catch all post. I've seen it happen in one other competing tool, but it's not as elaborate and working that well as we have it working with Clever Messenger. So definitely one of the top picks right there. And you can limit the reply to once per unique subscriber. This is what Fauci demonstrated as well, which was also went hand in hand with Rob's question about not overwhelming subscribers or current subscribers with the same thing once they comment. Basically, this actually limits the private reply to each and every user to go out once to, oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought right there. So what this actually does, so if people, you have a very engaging post and people are discussing on your post that thread, you definitely want to use the limit reply to once per unique subscriber, because if you don't, and people are talking on that post, they will actually get a private reply each and every time once they comment to a new post or a new comment or a reply. So that's definitely something you want don't want to happen, because it will spam them and it will probably put your Facebook page on a blacklist. So that's something to consider. I actually really love that feature, because if it really allows us to do our best on our post engagement as well. And we only want to talk with the people that want to talk to us or want to hear from us anyways, right? So that's a really great feature. So that's three features why our post engagement is way better. And we can get more, but these are the top ones. Then for Messenger QR code, we are one of the 2 tools in the market we personally know of that allows for QR codes be this embedded into a chatbot builder. I know of one, but that particular tool actually allows you to only create dull looking images like the black QR codes you are used to see. What we are doing, we are giving you a styled QR code that holds your page logo, and we're the only ones that are doing this. And the next updates that we got in store for this is allowing you to pick a color, so you don't have to go with the blue color we provide, but you're actually soon are allowed to pick out a color that is more suiting to your brand, and you're able to change the logo in the middle to anything you'd like. So that's a really cool feature we're going to drop probably in 2020. Then finally, but certainly not least, M.me links. You have direct access via the composer. We're the only ones that are doing this. We are mainly using this for preview or review purposes, but it allows you to quickly get an M.me link on the go, which is just great. They are accessible via a vast M.me link library, and you have the M.me link parameters, which are shown as well. Now, without further ado, let's just head on over to the questions. Seems it blew up a bit.
Seems you have a couple of questions. Thanks, Stefan, by the way, for this.
That's no problem.
It's always good to showcase why the tools we provide are cleverer. How you like to call it? Yeah.
Good.
So this is also not naming every 10. There are a lot of other things that we didn't also mention here, but
yeah. So these are just our topics for this training, right? I mean, there's much more to it. We do some, I think we do a good job on the documentation where we elaborate each and every feature quite well. So it's definitely something you guys should check out if you didn't already. So clevermaster.com/support, which will redirect you to the support documentation where you can read up on all these post engagement features as well. Trying to make sense of the questions. Vasily is saying Zoom is popular. Yes. Thumbs up for that. Great training. Thank you, Vasily. Appreciate it. Stay to the end. You're able to win a free T-shirt. I'm really rooting for you, buddy. Carolyn is saying, how can post engagements be used with a Facebook ad? We can quickly touch upon that. I actually wanted to do that on a more advanced training, but what you typically do is you create a post like you normally would on your Facebook page, and then you tie the post engagement feature to that specific post, and then you go to Facebook, where you can create a Facebook ad out of that particular post you did. So that's for a public post. I'm not sure how it works for dark posts yet. That's something we probably still need to sit down for. But right now it works really, really well with how you set up normal posts and you create an ad out of that as well. So long story short, you first create the fan page post on your fan page, then you tie the post engagement feature to that particular post, and then you create an ad out of that particular post via the Facebook Ads Manager on Facebook. I hope that makes sense, Carolyn. If not, shoot in a support ticket or a quick question right here so we can still answer that. Moving on to Rob. So it doesn't work if you comment on the share. You have to click on the post itself first. Yeah, this is regarding the sharing of the Facebook fan page post to your personal wall. Indeed, you need to click on the post itself first. That's the little workaround. This is how it works. That's why we earlier stated that it only works on fan page posts like it should. And it is also the same workaround that is to be used for Facebook groups as well. So again, people click on that post, it will open up either in a lightbox, depending on how your post is structured. If it's set up in a lightbox, it will open over your personal profile, and then it will basically allow for people to comment on that thing. So yeah, there is a slight friction right there. But again, it's intended for businesses, and it's not intended for personal stuff. Matter of fact, Facebook really doesn't like if you market stuff via your personal profile. But that's another story altogether. Moving on, Rob, if that doesn't satisfy, please shoot in a support ticket. We're more than happy to elaborate on that as well. Wasili is replying to Carolyn, create a post on your Facebook page and use post engagement tool and promote the post as a Facebook ad. Yes, seems Wasili needs to start giving these trainings.
Yeah.
He's already doing it for his little group. He's got some YouTube YouTube videos as well. Definitely check it out, guys. Some really good insights from Wasili as well. Jerry, question. I'm going to create a flow for a gym coach where I send one free fitness video a day for 7 days straight to his subscribers. Is this permissible with the Facebook rules? Does the subscriber need to click a quick reply every 24 hours to receive the next video, or can I set up the subscriber receives them automatically after opting into the flow? Very easy answer. This is not permissible after March. They postponed it, but right now, up until March, you can actually automatically do this for them. After that, you already answered your own question. You need to use the quick reply setup, or you can use it with buttons as well. So then they need to click each and every 24 hours on that button.
Yeah.
Stuff. Or yeah, you can obviously follow up with email or SMS, where you don't have to care about the 24-hour window at all. Cool. Hope this satisfies your needs, Jerry. Again, thanks for dropping in. If you need more of a detailed explanation, then simply hit up support, and we're there to help you out as well. Vasily, if I understand it right, you can use the follow-up text for that because it's not promotional. Yes and no, Vasily. It's free content, but you're not really allowed to send out stuff outside of that 24-hour window if it does not fit the right text. And currently there are only right now there is like 15 tags top of head. I'm not sure there's just a lot, but they drill it down back to 4. There's another one coming in February, I think, and I think Facebook still needs to work on their message tag game. So everything I'm saying right now is subject to change since Facebook goes its own way, and we simply need to adapt. So, Jerry, please go with my original answer. Thanks, Vasily, for helping to answer, but I'm not sure if this is the case.
I think Kosi is also right there because he's talking about right now before March because this is not promotional stuff. The subscriber actually opted in for receiving those video updates from the page, so he can use the other tags, which is updates or business
before
practices.
March. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so definitely before March, you can actually use the tags and do whatever you want. I mean, you can still send 10 broadcasts a day, right? So that's something you can definitely do. But after March, you definitely need to get back to those flows for your gym coach, Jerry, and make sure that they adhere the policy changes. Carolyn says, yes, it makes sense. Thanks. If you still have a question, do let us know. Vasily, haha, right back at you. Jerry saying, thank you. No problem, Jerry. And Rob is saying, with all your great templates you are doing, have you considered creating broadcasts with each of one that we could customize? I'm still very unclear of what a great broadcast looks like. Good idea, actually. We have considered that as well. We didn't know that there was someone with a question like you just posed right here. A great broadcast is simply something that gets them engaged, I guess. So that sparks curiosity, that gets them to click those buttons and take the actions you want them to take. And that's different for each and every niche, for each and every market. But a great broadcast is actually one that gets them activated again in the 24-hour rule, and then you can send promotional content again. And this can be anything. It can be a cool GIF that is followed up with a question, or that sparks curiosity, like I mentioned earlier. Anything that gets them to click on your buttons. That's what I consider a great broadcast. I'm not sure if Fauzi wants to intervene right here and add to that as well.
But the idea of creating broadcasts with a template is a really good idea that I like very much over here, because you are also educating the users about how you can actually send that broadcast and when to send it with what content also. So that's a really good idea. I think
this is something we need to do or add to the policy changes thing as well.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing to do, because since things are going to change a lot after the next 2 months, I don't see if we can still manage to do some templates like broadcast templates right now if things are about to change again in 2 months. So it's something we're definitely going to put on our backlog, Rob. So that's highly appreciated. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm gonna make a quick note in your Slack, Fauzi.
Sure. Yeah.
There we go. Moving on. Vasily says, okay, copy that. Thanks. Yes, good idea. Okay. I think that's the questions answered. Last chance, guys, before we move over to the giveaway. I think. Let me just do this.
Oh, there is a giveaway. I didn't expect that.
You did it. Yeah, that's fair, guys.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so let me just move over right here to this thing right here. All right, guys. So you guys are up. Whip out your phone. If you are on iOS, you can simply get your camera and make sure you scan this code using your camera. It opens up this thing right here. I'm quickly moving it forward right there. Again, I'm also copying this link. Meanwhile, if you're on iOS, you make sure that the center square is aimed at the QR code. I can see that Rob is also already doing something, and this will open up a series of questions. If you answer those questions and you answer them all, then you are automatically entered. You automatically entered in our giveaway as well, and we are going to do a random draw between the people that actually answered the questions. And if you are the winner of the draw, then you are going to get a free t-shirt. So that's it. Again, scan this code right here. I'm going to add a link to the changelog again. If you are on a Android device, please click on that link I put into the chat right now. It's a link to the changelog, and if you scroll down, there is a small tutorial on how to get to the Facebook native QR scanner. And this allows you to scan the QR code you see on your screen right now with your Android device as well. Very, very easy stuff. And I think in this case, it will actually automatically redirect you to the flow without clicking on the button. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, that will be the case. If it will just work as an MDOS meaning.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does it actually work, guys?
I'm getting some beeps here. I see that Rob is already there. But what we're going to do as well is paste the m.me or the scan code inside the chat here so that you guys can
do that.
Yeah, we can post an image, right? In the
I'm not from the live thing, but perhaps from the
let's see.
The other.
Yeah, we can put. Yeah. Let's see.
I can see that Rob is already entering the flow by scanning. Man, I really appreciate it. Rob, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Some nice feedback. Very cool. I'm actually trying to scan it myself as well.
You want a free t-shirt, Stefan?
Yeah, another one. That worked great from a live. So yeah, so I guess we just proven a point right here as well. So you can even use this on a live as well. Have people scan, like you guys are doing right now. Have people scan a QR code and interact with you while you're doing the live, and during they are answering all those questions in the messenger as well. I'm actually quite baffled by this, that this actually does its job so well. And I hope you guys like it as well. Stanley, there's no Android link. What I told you just a little bit before, go to the changelog. Let me just copy that link again and reply to you. For some reason, it does not let me reply. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. Stan, please go to this changelog right there. Once you open it, you can actually, let me just move this quickly to the screen right here, guys. So anyone using an Android can actually see it. So this is the changelog for this specific entry for the Messenger QR code. All the way down, you got this thing right here, but there is a secret QR scanner. It allows you to scan the code you've just seen with the Facebook's native QR scanner. And these are the steps you actually need to do. So you open the Facebook app on your phone. In the search field, you type QR scanner and hit search. The first result is a shortcut to the QR scanner. Tap the shortcut to the QR scanner. This opens up the QR scanner. Point the scanner at the QR code and scan the QR code, and you're automatically redirected to where the QR code is linking to. And that should do the trick. Again, let me know if that works for you, Stan. There we go. So opening up this thing again. There you go. Okay, guys, just going over the chat here one more time. You're very welcome, Stan. I hope that works for you. Rob is saying, last wish list. Is there any way you all can do a basic to-do chart that goes over the rules, kind of a step-by-step process of what we should do with our bots? It's still a little confusing on what we can and cannot do. Having that process in one place where we can follow up, it will make it much simpler. And if this is possible, thanks. Let me know what you actually mean by that. It's quite extensive. It really depends on what you want to do with your bot. I mean, what we have going inside Clever Messenger already is the get started list, right? So once you installed or connected a page to your chatbot, it pops up on the right a get started button, which on click it actually opens up the get started list, which gets you started with some of the basics as well. If you are talking about the policy rules, that's something we can actually hand you a list. I think we have posted this multiple times in the groups already, and support is aware as well. In terms of what you can do with your bots in general, man, you can do a lot with your bots. So I need you to be a little bit more specific. And could you please send this over to support as well, so that we make a little note of it and make sure that this gets delivered to you as well.
Yeah. As also we mentioned in the last training about policy changes, we will have tools inside Clever Messenger so that you are guided inside your bot about what needs to be changed inside your flows, what is working, what will not continue working, and this kind of stuff.
And one more thing, Jerry, are you planning on a regular January 1st Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time trading? That's actually a good question, Jerry. I think we are going to do the training either on the 2nd or 3rd of January. Something I need to discuss with Fauzi, because I'm not working on the 1st of January. I probably hung over a little bit. So that's something you guys definitely do not want to see. And I'm about to quit smoking as well in this first week. So I need to be a little bit wary about that stuff as well. So I'm not too cranky on those calls. But yeah, let's see how that goes as well. So yeah, something I need to discuss with Fauzi. You guys will get the date first. But after these, we're actually a little bit more fluid, I should say, when it comes to picking out dates, because we got a lot of stuff coming. We're also taking a business trip very soon, which is a secret business trip. And we are not sure when we're actually doing that as well. But we're trying to make plans for that as well. So Jerry, you will see the date later, I guess. Guys, if that's all, we are going to stop with the live. I think we've been at it for more than 2 hours already.
Yeah. These lives keep getting longer and longer.
Yeah, but to be honest, this one went very, very good, like fluently.
Yeah.
a lot of cool interaction. But I think the mistake basically is that we tend to forget how much value we have inside Clive Master and how much features there are actually inside, and that we tend to forget that there's so much we want to tell, and we get over enthusiastic when it comes to showcasing our training.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think these live hours, like these 2 hours, go very, very fast, and I truly appreciate them. They are a good touch moment with you guys as well. With Stefan too.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, guys, the only thing I would like to see is I would like to see more people on these lives. So next time around, I'm gonna send out a broadcast. I'm gonna invite more of you guys to the actual live training. I'm gonna send out emails, I guess, to basically boost the attendance rate, because right now our peak was at 10, 12, I guess. We used to see 20 at the start of these lives, but we really want to do more. Then again, it's holiday season, Saturday. So I really appreciate you guys joining us right here on this Saturday, guys. Again, thanks. Thank you, Stan. Really appreciate it. This has been good, he says, and I'm going to watch it again. Awesome, buddy. Really appreciate you for jumping on. Rob is saying fantastic training. Again, appreciate you too, Rob. And I'm rooting for you both next to Vasily, of course, for the free t-shirt giveaway. So again, thanks. If there's nothing left to add from you, Fuzzy, I would like to sign off.
That should be it. I think we are due to go now.
Awesome stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Fuzzy, thanks again for the great explanation as well. Really.
Cheers. Thanks.